Hey love bugs, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my experience on getting into the veterinary medicine field and answer some questions that I've been asked by my peers who are also interested in going into the veterinary medicine field. So as you guys know, my major is animal science, and the original plan of course was to go to vet school and become a doctor. But actually working in an animal hospital, I realized that I am not, the type, I can't stomach cutting into an animal. So, witnessing surgeries and stuff, I realized, okay, yeah, I'm not the one. I don't want to be the person to do the cutting and all that. I rather, help, assist, take care of them, when they get out of surgery, but I don't actually want to be the one cutting. So I decided to go the veterinary technician route. And it may differ in states depending on the hospital. Most animal hospitals that I was applying to wanted you to have some type of experience in the animal hospital setting. So in order for me to even get my foot in the door, I had to volunteer at my local animal shelter, get experience, in the kennel and all, helping them out. And once I added that to my resume, I was able to get my foot in the door and apply to an actual animal hospital because I had that experience that they were looking for as far as the animal care. So I got hired at my first animal hospital after volunteering at the animal shelter for a couple months. Now, most hospitals are going to start you off as a kennel tech, which is you're responsible for, walking, cleaning, all the the lower level stuff. If you're working at an animal hospital that also has a boarding facility, you'll be in charge of, feeding and making sure they have water, giving them their medication if they come with medication. It just depends on the hospital and the type of hospital it is. My personal experience, all the hospitals I've worked at, they've also been boarding facilities. So I've been a kennel tech, and I've been responsible for feeding, giving the meds, everything that I just told you guys. So recently I've gotten hired at an emergency animal hospital. I haven't started yet. I've done my interview process and all that and finished up the paperwork. So I will actually be starting that job next week as a veterinary assistant, and I will also be doing some reception stuff. But and that's really what I want, because it's you have the kennel techs, then you have the veterinary assistants, then you have the veterinary technicians, and then you have the doctors, of course. So most hospitals, you can get your foot in the door as a receptionist if they're hiring for reception, and then later on you can be cross-trained. Just kind of communicate that during your interview process and everything. During my interview processes, I make sure to let the managers know, hey, my major is animal science. This is my end goal. I want to be a veterinary technician. So it's they'll know, okay, hey, so keep an eye out for her. She wants to move up. This is the field that she wants to continue in. And they like that, of course, because hiring people is tedious and going through all that. So they're looking for people who want to stay at that hospital, who want to grow. And then you have those doctors who love teaching and love when the employees are interested in learning and moving up. So if that's something that you're really interested in, then you should definitely start out volunteering if you can't get hired in as a receptionist. But most animal hospitals are usually always hiring for receptionists, so it should be kind of easy, especially if you have customer service experience. So you could do that route, or you can volunteer and go from there. That's personally what I did. So I've always loved animals. So cleaning up behind them, when they use the bathroom and stuff, I kind of have the stomach for it now. It's I'm used to it. If you don't have the stomach for that, then you might want to reconsider, because starting off, like I said, you have to work your way up. So you're gonna start off, if you're not doing reception, you're gonna start off as kennel tech. So you're gonna have to be cleaning up the poop, cleaning up behind them when they pee, you know, doing baths, doing nail trims, stuff like that. You're not gonna be as hands-on as far as medical stuff right away. So you just be patient, and if you have, you know, if it's really something that you're interested in, then, you know, it'll be worth it. Because like my viewpoint, once I actually got hired at an animal hospital, I was like, okay, I'm working and I'm going to school, which is hard, but it's worth it because I'm doing a job in my field. So it's not just like I'm working just for money. I'm also working for the money, but I'm also in my field. Like, I'm here, I'm gonna climb the ladder. So I've been at an animal hospital for a year now, and also like never settle, not saying like job hop, but if you find a better opportunity for yourself, then go for it. Like, never feel bad for growing and making a decision that's gonna be best for you in the long run. Because I love the animal hospital that I'm at now. Currently, I love the people, you know, I love the team. But like financially, you know, I've got offered a better opportunity, and also like position-wise, I was offered a position as a veterinary assistant, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you're offering me, you know, I have kennel tech here, but they're offering me, you know, a veterinary assistant position off rip. You know, that's a level up for me. That's what I need. That's what I'm looking for. I want to grow, you know? So sometimes you may not grow at that exact hospital. Sometimes it's going to be a better opportunity for you somewhere else, and that's okay. Like, don't feel bad about that. Never get complacent, never settle, because everyone's not going to see your worth. You're not, the hospital that you be at may not be, you know, family oriented. You have that, you know, that positive workspace. So it's okay. You know, every hospital is not going to be, we call it your rainbow hospital. You don't have a lot of rainbow hospitals. You know, you don't have a lot of hospitals where the staff is great. You know what I'm saying? They care about you. They're not going to be nasty to you. You know, they're not going to look down on you like, oh, you're just a kennel tech, you know, whatever. So yeah, just never settle. And if it's something that you're really passionate about, like you really want to do it, then it'll be worth it. So I say go for it. Like, if you have that opportunity, like if you see an animal hospital who's, oh, we're looking for a receptionist, you know, oh, we're looking for a kennel tech, don't look at it as like, dang, you know, like this isn't what I want to do. Like, look at it as, okay, this is my opportunity to get my foot in the door. That's what you got to do. You got to climb the mountain, y'all. You got to sacrifice. You got to show, you got to prove that, hey, you know, I'm willing to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I care for the animals. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to start off at the bottom and work my way up. They like that. They love that. And even though if it's like a smaller hospital, you know, like private, if it's a privately owned hospital, you may be able to have like that one-on-one, because like my first hospital was a privately owned hospital. So it's like I was able to watch the surgery, you know, and ask questions also while being a kennel tech. So it's like, you know, it just depends on the hospital, it depends on the doctors, you know, it just depends on the situation. But if you're in a situation like where I was, like where it's like, okay, yeah, you can watch this, like you ask me questions, you know, learn, like that's really great and you should stay there, you know what I'm saying? Because some hospitals, like the hospital I'm at now is an emergency hospital. Well, the one that I'm gonna start, I should say, is an emergency hospital. So it's like, I may not have that time for a doctor to be like, hey, you know, you can watch this surgery, you know, you can peep in, you can help me with this, because it's more, you know, critical. We have more, you know, critical situations. So I'm just excited to see how that's going to be. I know it's going to be different. It's going to be fast paced. You know, I'm doing a different position. I'm a veterinary assistant now, so I'm going to be more hands-on as far as medical. Like, I have to learn how to put in the catheters, you know, and all that. Like, I've given medications, like, you know, the oral pills. I've made someone like a little meatball to give them their meds. I know how to pill, you know, pill an animal if they're not wanting to take their medicine, if they're being, you know, a little grumpy. I've given insulin to a cat before. I have experience with that, but as far as I've given, you know, vaccines before, I've, you know, drawn up a vaccine, I've given a vaccine, that before, but as far as like putting a catheter in, you know, all that, you know, higher up hands-on stuff, I haven't had the experience yet. So, you know, I'm a little nervous to, you know, start doing it, but I'm excited because it's what I want to do, you know, like I'm growing, I'm getting more experience, I'm being able to, you know, add more things to my resume. And if you're not an animal person, like if you're not passionate about animals, then it's not the field for you. Like, you have to be very compassionate, you have to have the patience, because some of these, you know, of course, some cats, some dogs, they're not, you know, they can be aggressive. You know, if they're boarding at your hospital, like, they're gonna be, you know, unhappy. There might be a little, you know, pee, or, you know, you do number 2 out of spite because, you know, it's like, this isn't my home, like I don't want to be here, and you're gonna have to clean it up, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not passionate about the animals and you're not gonna like have that sympathy and love for them and treat them like they're your own while they're there, then this isn't the field for you. Like, yeah, it's cool to be, yeah, I work with animals, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you have you're at a practice that works with exotic animals, then, you know, it's like, yeah, like, cool, like, I work with animals, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not gonna, like, genuinely take care of them, then this isn't the field for you. If you're gonna, like, neglect them, like, this isn't the field for you. Like, you have to have that compassion for the animals. You have to have that patience, because not all animals are gonna act the same, you know what I'm saying? Some of them may be scared, so they're gonna be, you know, grumpy. They might be a little aggressive. Some of them, you know, they just want to be cuddled. It just depends. Like, you have to be prepared to deal with different personalities, because animals have personalities, you know what I'm saying? Animals have personalities just like we have personalities. So you just have to act accordingly. But me, I love animals. I've always loved animals, and I've always known that I want to work with animals. So it's like, for me to have this opportunity, like, I'm really excited, and it's something that I love, you know what I'm saying? So basically, to get your foot in the door, like I said, volunteer at your local animal shelter, you know, boom, step 1. Then, you know, hey, just look on, you know, a job hiring website, call them, ask them, hi, are you looking for a receptionist? You know, are you looking for a kennel tech? That's what I had to do. Like, I got denied so many times, and I'm like, you know, dang, like, why isn't no one giving me a chance for this? Because they want you to have that experience. Like, you have to have that experience, whether it's volunteering or at another hospital. Like, you have to have that experience. So, you know, try to get your foot in the door as a receptionist, or, you know, volunteer for a couple months, and then apply as a kennel tech, you know, and then you'll be in there and you can grow, you know what I'm saying? It's like, once you get your foot in the door, you're gonna grow. Like, it's getting in the door, that's the hardest part. So once you get your foot in the door, like, it's up to you, like, how fast you learn, like, you know, you take initiative, like, you know, hey, ask questions, like, they like that, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what you have to do. But that's my experience so far. Like I said, I'm still in the growing stage. I'm not exactly at my final stage yet, but I will keep you guys posted, you know, as I learn more, especially at my new job. As once I start my veterinary assistant position, I will definitely keep you guys posted on, you know, what I'm learning and, like, the difference between, like, being at a normal practice than an emergency practice. So I will definitely keep you guys posted. And if you guys have any questions specifically that I didn't address, this is kind of like a short and sweet video, like the basics on how to get your foot in the door. But if you guys have more questions, like, you want in depth, just definitely comment, and I will make another video and try to be more detailed on what you guys want to know. If you're new to my channel, thank you for checking in. If you've been following me for a while, thank you for your support. And make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and I will definitely answer them in a next video for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye, love bugs. You could do damage. You could do damage.